Ben, team of the decade, with a sherry in hand, you penned this over the Christmas period. Tell us who you went for.
Because you know that everyone's going to have their favourites. There are guys that you'd expect to be in there, but also players that have only been in the Premiership for a short time but were amazing that season. So I was thinking, number 7, do I go for George Smith, who was absolutely fantastic, but I've gone for a mixture of consistency, players that have played a long time in the Premiership in those 10 years, and so that's my team. Pick holes in it. Go on.
Yeah, I need to, because you told me I was picked at 10, so the graphics guys got it wrong.
They couldn't fit the picture on the screen.
Okay, that's fair enough.
I think it's great to see Castro in there. I mean, what a character on the tie.
Well, I guess probably the first of a crop now, which we see a lot of, but of guys, front rowers, particularly as a tight head, that could do a lot around the field with ball in hand, but could still do the scrummaging to a level that would win you the game, and that's why I've put him in there. The mixture of a world-class scrummager, but also a threat with ball in hand as well.
And what about Danny Care? I mean, yesterday he played in his 12th big game for Harlequins at Twickenham. He's some player.
Oh yeah, he really is, and last season as well, the little kicks into the corner for Visser to pounce on as well. Just, you don't see that from a scrum half very often, especially sniping around the bottom of the ruck. And I've grown up watching Danny Care. I'm a bit younger, so he was definitely an aspiration of how I wanted to play the game when I was growing up. But for me, Brits is the one that excites me the most on that list. I absolutely love him. I think he's absolutely amazing.
I mean, phenomenal end, fairy tale end to his career, but that smile that he's showing there on that picture, that was there pretty much from first whistle to the final whistle, Goody. He loved his rugby.
Yeah, brilliant guy. Physical, he had attributes, and we just talked about Martin Castro-Giovanni about changing the way props played. Well, he changed the way hookers played as well, didn't he, in terms of the ability, ball in hand, the step. We all remember his goose step, his bounce off one foot, his offloading game, but always with a smile. So, some brilliant players on that list. Richard Wigglesworth, who's the highest Premiership appearance holder. We had a bit of a debate about it, didn't we? So
he was obviously, that was probably the hardest position, actually, because you've got Ben Youngs as well, and plenty of modern people like Faf de Klerk, but hasn't really been in the Premiership long enough to be considered. But I just think Danny Care, for that individual brilliance that could set up tries out of nothing or score tries out of nothing, that's why he got on.
And the fear factor as well. You need someone with a fear factor. You went for Sam Manoa. I mean, he really did.
Him at his peak, yes, he had, but as a ball carrier, he was unplayable at times. At his peak, he's as good as I've seen in the Premiership.
One of the players in there that we haven't really mentioned but has had a phenomenal Premiership career, Brad Barrett as well, probably captain that team if you did pick a captain. But you see, Brad Barrett, he's been, we've talked about Saracens a lot in the positives of winning trophies, but also a little bit of the negatives at the minute about the salary cap. But he's a guy that I think anyone around the Premiership who's played against him would love him to be in their team. Respect him as a bloke, brilliant professional. He's got strings to his bow that other players don't have, and the longevity that he's shown, the way he plays as well, phenomenal guy.